And talk about a British MP, Bob Blackman, who is now accused masked Khalistani terrorists of threatening his constituents in northwest London after the disputed screening, or they say disrupted the screening rather, when it comes to Kangana Ranaut's film Emergency. Now this, remember, is not happening for the first time as far as in the UK is concerned. Bob Blackman has also urged the UK Home Secretary intervene into the matter and has said that several cinema halls that have pulled down the film, fearing more disruptions, and the incident which has caused considerate alarm and that saw a group forcefully enter the theatre, create an unsafe environment for the moviegoers and threaten them as well and disrupt the movie at screening altogether.
On Sunday, many of my constituents gathered and paid for a screening of the film Emergency in the Harrowview cinema. About 30 to 40 minutes into the screening of that film, masked Khalistani terrorists burst in and threatened members of the audience and forced the screening to end. It covers the period when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, and it is very controversial, and there are certain views that this is an anti-Sikh film. But I think members of our constituents should be able to see this film and judge for themselves and not be threatened by thugs who want to disrupt democratic opportunities to see public films.
Now, actor and BJP MP Kangana Ranaut in a post on social media platform has hailed the UK MP in saying that a British MP has raised his voice for her fundamental rights, where she has also questioned the silence of the Indian politicians and feminists, with the ME expressing concern over the reports of constant disruptions to the screenings of the movie Emergency in the UK, where the ME has also sought punishment for those who have been threatening the moviegoers and disrupting the screening.
You would have seen, and we have also seen several reports on how the film Emergency, which was being screened in several halls, was being obstructed. We consistently raise concerns with the UK government regarding incidents of violent protests and intimidation by anti-India elements. Freedom of speech and expression cannot be applied selectively, and those obstructing it must be held accountable. We hope the UK side will take appropriate action against those responsible. Our mission, that is our High Commission in London, remains in touch, in regular communication with our community members for their safety and welfare. So we expect the UK side to take strong, appropriate action in this.
British MP Bob Blackman has raised his objection against the behavior of Khalistanis in London who have not allowed the release of the film Emergency. When a British MP can fight for a filmmaker in London, it's very sad to note that none of our member of parliaments or any political leader or any social activist or any NGO who normally talk about freedom of expression raised their voice against the similar situation in Punjab, when Emergency was not allowed to release in theatres in Punjab.
Forget about Kangana Ranaut and her movie. The reality is that Donald Trump refused to invite Narendra Modi to his swearing-in ceremony. But the inaugural Liberty Ball, we saw Patwant Singh Pannu there, and he was raising slogans on Khalistan, and the reality is that nobody from the Trump administration chucked him out of that room, and not one whimper of objection has been raised by the Indian government.
All democracies talk about free speech, but in India, the politicians stay silent when the free speech is throttled here. Whereas Bob Blackman has raised the issue that within his constituency, when this film was to be projected or to be shown, that time pro-Khalistani element has tried to disturb that. I don't understand why Indian politicians stay silent. Fact is, there is nothing on Khalistan or nothing against Sikhs in the film as such. But yes, the history has been narrated, and then there is problem with the certain elements who don't want history to be seen or to be narrated as it happened.
Well, there have been several incidents that have been reported in the UK so far with regards to Emergency, the movie, its screening being disrupted and the moviegoers being threatened. With that, we head into a short break.